Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, July 13th. It is 6:18 right now. Market's going to open in about 12 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Got a couple of things here to update. And we should be good to go. Let's a couple things right here. All right, looks good. Let me get this link sent out to the premium real quick. And we'll get started with our analysis for today. This window looks kind of big. All right. So I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. And we will get started shortly. All right, cool. All right, so as people make their way in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity real quick. We got a messy chart today, guys. If you guys are not aware, there was CPI news here at 5:30, kind of threw price around a bit. You go over here to the daily. A lot of the liquidity got knocked out pre-market due to the news. So we'll see if there's anything still lingering to be, I guess, tested today. Put it marked up right there. Get our liquidity marked up there. Hey Kevin, how's it going? Morning. All right, I'm gonna let this 4-hour time frame. Nothing there. 2-hour. Put a note for this one here. But check to confirm. Established. Go down to the 1-hour. Go down to the 30. I'm gonna change the color here. This one's have to get checked too. 30-minute. Like All right. So I think that's it. So I marked up liquidity right there, guys. Let's see who's here so far in the room. Let's scroll from the top. Morning, Kenny. Morning, CJ. Morning, Casey. Morning, Maria. Morning, Brian. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Purity. Morning, Shannon. Morning, Ben Harwick. Morning, Matthew. Morning, Talanji. Morning, Karen. Morning, everybody. So, guys, today is Thursday, July 13th. We're halfway through the trading week. It is 6:24 right now. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes. I've marked up liquidity here on these time frames. As you guys can see, there's a 30-minute liquidity up here, but it needs to be confirmed to be established. I don't know if this is going to establish by market open, so this is probably not going to be useful for us. There's also liquidity down here on the 2-hour, which needs to be confirmed as well. Let me check on the higher time frame or 10-minute. It's also going to be lined up with 10 minutes. So both of these liquidity points, I mean, I don't think they're going to be useful, to be honest, in my opinion, because I don't think there's enough time for that liquidity to actually be established. So these two over here are probably not going to be established by the time price hits that, but I'll keep it marked up there. You can see the spike right here was due to, I'm just going to delete these. These are actually not useful for us because you can see the spike here happened based off the news from earlier. So this is not going to be a good liquidity point because that's not necessarily where people would have traded from, right? Price just spiked up and down due to news. And price will probably just pass right through them. So I took those off. So closest liquidity over here is going to be up here, which looks like it may be the 1 hour. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Down here, there's another level, but it's not too close. Closest one's going to be up here, though. It's about 300 pips away. So we'll see what happens here on open. But as you guys can see, the market did move kind of crazy here pre-market due to the news candle. So I'm going to go and mark that up over here real quick. Let me check your calendar. We had news over here at 5:30, high impact news. And that was about it for US. My FX book is back open finally. So thankfully, we'll have this here. So we had news over here at 5:30. You guys can see it's obviously the big crazy candle right here. They just literally spiked. And then we have news at 7:30 as well. Right there. So we have news right there, natural gas, 8-week bill auction at 8 o'clock. Won't matter. I'm not going to be trading that. Let's go to my FX or Forex Factory real quick. All right. So I think that's it. We just have natural gas storage at 7:30. Hey, Dan, how's it going? Morning. All right. So I think we're pretty much good to go. So looks like pretty much everybody who needs to be here is here so far. And market is going to open in about 3 minutes. I'm trying to see where my other market is. I'm going to go to, oh, sorry. Let me fix that. There you go. It's those two right there. All right. So let's see. Let's send some text out real quick. All right, guys, market is opening in about 2 minutes. Let's see what we got here. So let me go over here to the clean chart and mark up 6:30 and 8. We got liquidity sitting above. Price isn't really doing anything right now. It's going sideways. There's not really much of a direction right now because obviously the news kind of screwed up price a lot today, actually. Like now that I think of it, news definitely screwed up price a little bit over here. Because it had this huge spike, so now price doesn't know where to go. Price is pretty much going sideways, huge spike right here, now it's back to going sideways until it figures out its direction, of course. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to wait for price to stabilize. Once it stabilizes, we'll be able to look for entry here. Market's going to open in about 40 seconds, guys. I'm going to go ahead and mark up today's overall bias, retail sentiment, fundamental bias, short-term technicals, long-term technicals. All right, so for retail sentiment today, retail sentiment is currently 64% short. This indicates that 64% of retail traders are currently selling. So we typically want to do the opposite and buy. So I'm going to do over here bullish, and it's now 63% short. Not a huge difference. Fundamental bias over here is currently 66 points in the green, so it's not very strong, but it's like a bullish neutral. All right, guys, market is now open. Plus 63 or up to 60 points. I'll check on that later. Looking over here at the technicals, currently, I mean, short term is bearish. It's pretty much neutral. This price is down the middle. It hasn't really confirmed direction yet. Long term is also bullish. So it's bullish neutral for, we'll just put neutral for short term, 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, because you can see prices in between the pivots. Pivots aren't really angling in any direction. Price just keeps going back and forth. So right here for the 1 minute, it's going to be, I'm just going to put neutral. And for the long term, I'm going to put bullish because price is above the pivots, the trend meter is green, and the pivots are angling up. So with that said, we have mostly a bullish bias for today. We just need to wait for that confirmation as price continues to move along and stabilize. So once price stabilizes right here, we can start looking for possible entry. I'm probably going to be looking for buys because that's where price is pointing towards. So I'm going to go ahead and draw some lines over here for the momentum pullback scalps. And then we will play by ear and see what we can take from here. As you guys can see, the direction of price is not very strong. And the volume and volatility here is not very strong either as price barely moves along. One way that you guys can identify whether price is really moving is once you mark up the whole numbers at the tenths. Basically 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, etc. If they're really spread out like this is going to show that there's not really much movement. And the thing is, we need movement for the momentum pullback scalps because that's how we catch these trades. We need volatility to push price around, and then we catch the retracement. So right here, we're starting to have a picked up movement of volatility. Maddie, Gian, I think you're here right now. We talked about this earlier. You know, that bullish push from Maddie's not even here yet. Or not, you are here, Maddie. The direction is going to be bullish today because the news here was positive. I mean, the news was negative, but it was better than expected. It was kind of a follow-up from yesterday's news as well, or the news earlier this week. Basically just inflation news and recession news. The news wasn't great, but it was better than expected. So I was expecting price to be bullish here. So liquidity just got hit, guys. I don't know if anybody caught it. It literally blasted right through. I wasn't able to catch it. It just happened too quickly. Yeah, thanks, Maria. Maria just mentioned, she said that the liquidity push hit. Again, you know, I'd probably go for 100 pips, guys. You know, the 300 move here is just a little too wide because the volatility is not as high as it typically is. So if you went for the 100 pip move, you would have made your TP already. I mean, if you went for the 300, it's technically still running, but you know, I would have pulled out right here at 100 because of the market movement. I was kind of explaining it over here. If you guys don't understand when the market's not really moving, very volatile, just drop your lines at every 10th mark. So you know how we enter at every 10th mark for the momentum pullback scalp. If you mark them up like this, and you see this gap in between, right? Like this gap right here is pretty big. It's pretty big for only 10 points. Generally, you're going to have numbers in between. Like you want the gap to be this small, like half of that, so that when price pulls down and it hits your T and it fills your order, it goes straight to your TP. When it's spread out like this is not exactly what you want, because this gives it too much space for error. There's too much room for error here. So like price can hit your entry, and then you can get stuck in the position. So not exactly the volume and volatility that we want, but we have to work with what we can get right now. We are in the summer market, so this is normal for summer. Volatility is typically very low. It only picks up on news days like today. But even a day like today, the volatility here is still not very high. So, I mean, it was busy the past couple of days. I think Tuesday, Wednesday was pretty nice. Today's actually a lot slower compared to the other days, even though it is a high impact news day with CPI. But other than that, I mean, technically there's an entry running right here, guys. I wouldn't have taken this, of course, but there is an entry running here for momentum pullback scalp. I'm sure a lot of you guys identified it right there. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mess with it because there's no direction right now. I want to wait for price to kind of stabilize a bit. So around 7 o'clock, 6:45 to 7, I'll start looking for entries. So around like this time right here. Typically 7 to 8 would be nice, but 6:45 is usually when the market starts to stabilize a bit right here. But generally 7 to 8 is usually the time for it to start moving directional. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said he's going to wait for after manipulation. Yeah, because market's going to be manipulated here on open, of course, due to the CPI news. CPI news from this morning, a lot of people are reacting to it. So price can really do anything at the moment until price actually stabilizes, based off the news from earlier, because the news was over here. I already marked up news price, the pink line, and price is pretty much just bouncing around until it finds its direction for today. I think price will be bullish though. I think today, overall price may be bullish. It might not be bullish right now, but eventually it'll continue to push up later today. See, Daniel caught the liquidity push. CJ caught the liquidity push. Nice. Yeah, so a pretty decent amount of you guys caught the liquidity push. It's like Vincent over here caught the liquidity push. Vincent over here is currently up 530 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Vincent. And then we have Kenny over here as well, or Kenny just posted the news for today. Thanks, Kenny. So I don't know if you guys saw the news, but FTMO, they now no longer have a trading day limit. So before you had to pass your challenge within 30 days, they pretty much removed that limit. So you can take as long as you like now. That's going to be a big game changer for a lot of you guys, because a lot of you guys keep forcing your accounts. You try to pass your challenge within like a couple of days. They have no limit anymore. So you can take a whole year if you want. You can take one trade every day. And for that winning trade, you can just pretty much let it, you just take your time basically. So like if you come on these live sessions, you can literally just sit on these live sessions, take one winning trade, and then just call it a day. Come back the next day, one winning trade, next day, one winning trade, next day, one, etc. Right? Just a bunch of winning trades. And then from there you can just pass like over time. You don't have to pass right away. So just keep that in mind, guys. If you guys are starting a new challenge with FTMO, there's no rush. If you guys want to trade with a small lot size, you can trade with a small lot size. If you're scared to trade the bigger lot size, just move to something smaller, and just take it as a process, because there's no rush anymore. You can literally take as long as you want. So normally, like if I was to pass a challenge on a 200K account, I would use a 200 lot, right? Like if you want to be very careful, you can drop to like a 50 lot if you want, or a 100 lot, even less than that, because eventually it's you'll pass. If you take enough trades you'll pass. Like if you do the math with all the results here. So let me just show you guys real quick. So let's see. So say, for example, for this year so far, if you wanted to take it extremely slow this year, so we had about, okay, so for the year so far, we had about 91 wins and 13 losses, right? So say, for example, you're on a 200K account. I normally use the 200 lot, but if you go down to a 50 lot, you'll make like 500 a trade, right? So 500 trade, how many trades do you need? So you need to make 20,000, right? To pass a 200K account divided by 500. You need 40 trades. So we've had 91 wins. Like you could have taken basically half the year and you would eventually pass. It'd take you a long time, but you would eventually pass because you only need 40 wins out of the 91 wins. Of course, 13 losses, but so if you wanted to factor that in, let's see. Times 13 losses or whatever it may be. That's 16,000 right there. You'll still make your money. You'll still make the, it'll just take you a little longer. So yeah, if you want to lower your lot size in the future, guys, and you guys just want to like for sure pass, but not have to stomach the risk of like if you just want to risk 1% a day, you can do that. Or you can even risk less than 1% because it's eventually it's gonna catch up to you. If you just keep stacking wins every day and not lose, and you could even lose like maybe once a week or every couple times a week, you'll still be able to recoup, especially if you're doing these momentum pullback scalps, because for these trades here, it's more of it's a less risk because we're able to pull out early if you get caught in a bad trade, if you get an opposite signal. So, just keep that in mind, guys. Yeah, Andrew said they're dropping all these requirements. Yeah, so that's the good thing about a lot of different funding companies. Like Top Step came out and they came out with this one-step rule. So everybody has to compete with them, right? Because everybody's using Top Step now. So same with like FTMO. I think FTMO will probably drop their daily drawdown or their daily loss limit because they need to compete with these other companies, right? So also Maria here, she mentioned that there's 10% off today. So unlimited trading period, no more 30-day trading limit. And then there's now 10% off too, if you guys want to start an FTMO. I had a link for FTMO. If you guys want the link, or actually, I don't know if I have it anymore, but I had a link before they gave a discount for FTMO as well. I think it's expired because that was like from like 6 years ago, or I don't know how long it was since we started FTMO. Yeah, Andrew said watch them drop their verification. I know if they drop their verification, that'll be game changer, right? That'd be crazy. If it's like a one-step challenge, if it's a one-step challenge for FTMO, then that's gonna be crazy because people can pass super quickly with FTMO. The thing with FTMO too is that they actually have less restrictions compared to Top Step because they don't have any loss limit. Well, they do have a loss limit, but you can kind of just YOLO it if you really wanted to, because they don't have a consistency requirement like Top Step. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said he says he doubts that they'll do a one-step. I agree with you too, Maddie. I doubt they'll do a one-step because it's too risky. The people who trade Forex they're gamblers. Like, if you compare futures traders to Forex traders, there's a lot of gamblers in the Forex space. People will just YOLO their trades. That's kind of what I like about Top Step is that they're more articulate with their criteria and with passing people. They don't just pass everybody. Even if you pass even if you get your profit goal, they still won't pass you if you don't have the consistency. Like if you just got lucky on one trade, they're not going to pass you. You have to keep trading. Yeah, you should probably message them, PC. If you just started recently, you should message them and they'll probably let that slide. Life Marketing said, wow, that's awesome news from FTMO. So happy that there's no time limits. Yeah, I agree with you too, Life. It was kind of pointless. I don't know. Well, I know why they had a time limit, but it is kind of pointless if they're actually wanting you to pass. If they just want you to fail, then yeah, time limit makes sense because they want you to to force it, but with no time limit, it kind of opens up a lot of opportunities for a lot of people. Yeah, no problem, Zach. Zach's gonna get another account. That's awesome. CJ said he feels bad for those who failed challenges within the past week due to the deadline. I agree 100%, CJ. Yeah, Maddie said there's a drop, looks like a fake out. Yeah, I think this year's a fake out. Price will swing back up. All right, we're getting close to 6:45, 7. So as we get closer to 7 o'clock, guys, when price pushes up, we can maybe start looking for some entries here. All right, so it looks like price is starting to push back up. Now we just got to wait for that buy signal. Once we get the buy signal, we can start looking for possible entries here. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said might get a fresh momentum soon. I'm waiting for him. Purity's asking if this is a high-low momentum scalp. It's not, because this candle right here broke and closed past pivots 1 and 2 already. James is asking, hey Sean, what's the difference in the paid group to this live stream? So the live stream that you're on the YouTube, it's not on every day. It's just on when I feel like sharing it. So like today, I felt generous enough to share the live stream with you guys, so I made it public today. It wasn't public yesterday. Also, it's delayed on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, it's delayed about 30 seconds. So you're not gonna be able to take these scalps with us. I mean, you can if you understand the strategy and you're able to anticipate it and you have the indicators, you can take the entries. But odds of you catching these trades and you're not familiar with the strategies and you don't have the indicators, it's going to be near impossible, because these moves happen so quickly that by the time you see us entering the trade, it'll already be in TP. So main difference with the YouTube and the Zoom is that the Zoom is real time. You guys see everything that I'm doing real time. The YouTube is delayed about 10 to 30 seconds. So depending on your internet connection, it's going to be delayed. And also I'm cutting off the stream. So like it's been about like since the start of July, I've only been sharing the public streams with the YouTube maybe once or twice a week, maybe more if I feel generous to share the live streams. But we're not really sharing the live streams on YouTube anymore. So luckily you got on today where the live stream was available, but it wasn't on yesterday. And it wasn't on the day, it wasn't on Monday either. So it was off on Monday. I shared the live stream on Tuesday. It was off yesterday. It's on today, and it's probably gonna be off tomorrow. And then next week, it just might be off the entire week. It just depends on how I feel in the morning. If I feel like sharing it in the morning, I'll share it. If not, then it's just the Zoom. So that's the main difference between the YouTube and the today was actually an accident. I didn't plan on making it public today, but I already started up the live stream and it was already publicly posted. So I just ended up leaving it up. Let's see. James said, okay, thank you. Do you stream each day on Telegram? Yeah, I stream every day, Monday to Friday. I trade every day, same time every day, 6:30 to 8. I never miss a day unless I end up waking up super late, which happens like maybe once a year. We already had that day, so that's probably not going to happen again. I think it happened like last month or 2 months ago. But yeah, I'm on here every day, James. Every day, Monday through Friday. Of course, not the weekends because the market's closed, but Monday through Friday, I'm here same time every day. Yeah, exactly, Maddie, 100%. Let's see, Maddie said 10-minute snipe may print as well with another confluence. Yeah, no, I agree, Maddie, 100%. All right, guys, we're looking for the buy signal here. It's 6:47 right now. So if we do get that buy signal, I'll start looking for entries here. It looks like the market is starting to stabilize a bit. I'm looking for a buy signal right here. And then as price comes back down to whatever area that we're looking for, I'll be looking for possible entry. So we just got to sit tight. Okay, there we go. We got the buy signal right there. We're basically confirming direction. So right now the direction is bullish. As you guys can see, price is above the pivots. The trend meter down below is green, and the pivots are starting to angle to the upside. They're going sideways right now, but if we do get that buy signal and price pushes up, then we will have opportunity for a buy here. The volume is very low though. So as you guys can see, the market's moving kind of slow. This is normal. It's summer season, so you can't really expect too much out of the market. We do want some volatility though. We can't have price going sideways like this. We need price to actually push through. So basically what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for a buy signal, and then I want price to push up slightly, retrace, and push up further. That's where I'm going to be taking my entry. So I need price to actually push this next level. I don't want price to push down here. If this is what happens where price pushes up and then it comes back down right here, I'm not going to take the trade. So if price barely pushes up right here, I'm not going to take the trade because this is what's going to happen. Right? I don't want that. I want price to actually go directional. So I'm looking for price to push up. Like that. So I can take my entry right there, take my entry right there, etc. Yeah, we still don't have a signal yet, but don't worry, guys. It's still early. It's only 6:49 right now. Let me mark up opening price as well, so that we are aware where opening price is at. All right, so we got open price right there, and also mark up opening price over here as well. And also mark up structure. All right, there we go. So as you guys can see, price isn't really doing too much. This is a clean chart. We got structure right here on the bottom, structure on the top. There's no direction. Price is trying to push up, but it's not really confirming yet. I mean, it's really just going sideways. This is a clean chart here. You guys can see it a lot better. And here's our main chart right here. There goes the buy signal. Perfect. Exactly what we were looking for. Hey, Nadia, morning. Nadia is asking, Sean, is your trend meter on the hour or the chart? It's on chart. If I'm scalping, it's always set to chart. It's only set to the hourly for the 1 hour trade. But you can see over here. Oh, sorry. Thanks for saying that, Nadia. I just realized that it wasn't a chart. Thank you for confirming that. Yeah, I forgot to update it. Anyway, it's still at green now. But yeah, it's set to chart. So for scalping, we set it to chart. If you're trading on the higher time frames, you just change it to a higher time frame. But if we're scalping and intraday trading, we set it to chart. Thanks, Nadia, for the heads up. It's still green. I knew it was going to be green because I checked it earlier. But so the problem here is that sometimes I trade on my phone. Like last night, you guys saw the trade that I took. I took the 1 hour entry yesterday. So this is my trade from last night. I took this entry here, the 1 hour at I think like 7 o'clock or something, 7 p.m. I locked in 1,400, 1,500 on my FTMO number 2, 450 on my MFF number 1, 450 on my MFF number 2, and 450 on my MFF number 3. So when I'm like out and I'm still trading the 1 hour strategy, because sometimes I'll be trading it like at the gym or at dinner or wherever I'm at. I mess with my phone because like I have so many tabs open right here that when I open TradingView on my phone, I'm not sure which one am I editing. So that's why I had my thing here set to the 1 hour. So yeah, I got to make sure to check that in the future. Usually it opens to this chart, my 1 hour chart, but I don't know, for some reason today it wasn't on there. Anyways, we haven't gotten that buy signal yet, guys, which is completely fine. I don't really care that there's no entries right now because typically we're supposed to wait till 7 o'clock anyway. So it's 6:52 right now. We have 8 minutes till 8. We still have some time. So I'm fine if price goes sideways right here. By 8 o'clock, hopefully we get some direction. But I mean, realistically, you can see over here, there's no direction. Price is like literally just going sideways. Right here. All right, so it's just a waiting game here, guys. Just gotta wait. Right now, there's no direction, as you can see. Price is going sideways. The pivots are going sideways. Price is below the pivots. We need price to be above the pivots, and we need the pivots to be angling up. Until we get that, there's not going to be any opportunity for entry. So it's really going to be setting up here. Maddie said the 10-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour is bullish on all time frames. Gotcha. Yeah, so it's, I mean, the overall bias is bullish. We pretty much cover that. So I'm already predicting price to be bullish. So I think for today, price is going to be bullish. As I mentioned earlier this morning, it doesn't necessarily need to be bullish right now, but I think if it's not bullish now, it's going to be bullish by the end of the day. So, all right, we're starting to get at least a better push right here. We just need a better confirmation. There's just no confirmation here as price continues to, go back and forth. We're starting to get this buy signal here. Okay, perfect. This is exactly what we're looking for. So what I need here now, we have the buy signal here placed, guys. I need price to push up higher. So I need price to push up higher. And then I want that retracement to come to this level here. And as it continues up, that's where I'm going to be looking for entry. So I need price to push up to this area right here. I need to push up higher. It's too weak right now. I need to push it a little higher to confirm the direction. And then when it pulls back, I'll be looking to take entry like right here, if I do have an opportunity to take entry at that point. So I'm going to set my pending order. I'm not going to set it yet, but I'm just going to have it ready. So when it comes time, I'll be ready to hop into this here. Right. So I'm waiting for this. Yeah, I wanted to push up higher. That's fine. I wanted to push up higher. And then after that, I'm going to look for a retracement candle. Don't have it yet, but that's what we're waiting for. All right, if it retraces right here, I'm not going to take the trade, guys. This is too far of a retracement right here. I need price to keep pushing up a little bit higher. It's still a little too weak right now. It's got like 30 seconds on this candle, so it actually has a lot of time. But yeah, this right here is too much of a mess. I probably won't take a trade right here. Because if that's the case, if price pulls back further, it can just reverse on me. So I don't know. Are you thinking about taking this right here, Maddie? It's just too, because it's just pulling back and fill this candle right here. So I'm not really looking. And if it pulls back even farther, I'm not really looking to take it either. Okay, so this is technically the entry, guys. I'm not going to take it. I'll mark it up for you guys to follow. But I'm not going to take the trade because it's not setting up the way I want it to. So technically, if you're just following the strategy for what it is, that's technically the entry point. It hasn't filled yet, but we're going to follow it. So we're following it here, but I'm not in this position. If you guys want to take it, that's up to your own risk. I don't recommend you take it. I'm just going to follow it because I want to see how it plays out. But I'm not in this position here. I already closed out my pending order. I'm actually hoping that it just pushes through here and it doesn't actually come and fill. So if it pushes through here, there's still opportunity for entry. So I want this green candle to close out and push out further. So it still hasn't filled. So there's still opportunity here for us to catch if it pulls back a little bit further. So I need price to push up a little bit more. All right, this is perfect. So it's still setting up here. I need price to push up a little bit more because it's not. So this is where our focus is going to have to be at. If it closes red, it can't close below this black line. If it closes below the black line, then there's definitely not going to be any opportunity for entry. Well, we need to wait for either a smaller retracement or a price to push up and then retrace back from where it's currently at. Exactly. Yeah, Maddie said it's completely sideways, need direction and a push. I agree 100%, Maddie. That's why I'm waiting for this to stabilize. Looks like it's starting to move though. So it's starting to push out of this area, which is a good thing. Okay. So if we get the retracement right here, basically any red candle, if we get a red candle here, the entry would be down here at this point. The same price point that we were looking at earlier. But it's got to hit right away. If it doesn't hit right away, then we will have to just cancel it. All right, we got about 20 seconds left. Ten seconds left. All right, I'll put my pending order right there. So if it pushes through and doesn't get triggered, then we have to cancel it and we'll have to wait for another pullback. You guys can see the volatility here is kind of low. This is what kind of sucks about trading when volatility is low, because typically you'll have volatility where price is pushing back and forth to fill your order. But the volatility here is very slow. Typically these levels will be like halfway. There'll be another line in between right here. So like, for example, if price pulled down, it would have filled the order and it would have went straight to TP. The problem with this here is the volatility is so low that there's such a big gap in between. So if you guys remember on Monday and Tuesday, see, like, for example, here, if this was tighter and the entry point would have been right here at the halfway mark, it would have already hit TP. That's generally how the strategy works. But the thing is that there's such a big gap here. Okay, so I'll leave it up for right now. So I'm gonna leave it up still. But if price continues to push up higher, I'm gonna cancel this order and we're just gonna have to wait for the retracement on the higher level. But you guys can see that the volatility here is it's just not it. It's just kind of too slow. But like I was mentioning earlier, if you guys traded with me on Monday and Tuesday, you guys remember that the levels were like here at the halfway mark, right? So if you had a level right there, then you would have been able to like fill the order and then go straight to TP. If your TP would have been like right there. It was just more volatile. It was a very volatile market, easy to get in and out. Order would fill. Right, the order actually filled. So I'm in the position now and see where it ends up going. All right, so all my orders filled right there. Watching it as it pushes through. Now here's the waiting game. The waiting game with the low volatility. I think all my orders filled, yeah. So I'm in it. Now we just wait. Let's see, Talanji said this would be a much better 10-minute snipe confluence, iffy on MT4. So here's the thing, guys. If we get a sell signal here, we got to close out for a small loss. Unfortunately, that's going to be the case. But okay, let me see if this closes. All right, I got to close out, guys. Unfortunately, I had to close out for a small loss. I only lost 300 on that trade. It wasn't really a big deal. That's just how the strategy works. So this thing will probably come through and play out, but I'm not taking my chances here. So I took a small loss there, 300 pip loss or a $300 loss. It wasn't even that much. Lost about 4 points. So I'm just following the strategy to the T. I'm not getting greedy here. I'm not holding on to things longer than I need to or than I should. I was in profit like, 600, 700 bucks, but I pulled out here for a small loss. So only lost 4 points on that trade. I'd rather have a small loss than have a possible big loss right here. And I'll just wait for the next entry. So not a big deal there. Lost 300 bucks. It's 300 bucks is whatever, compared to the full loss, which would have been 1,800, right? So if I held it to down here, the risk would have went even higher. So if you guys are still in a position, you guys can hold on to it if you like, or you guys can close out for profit now because it is in profit. But for me, I close out for a small profit. I'm not taking that risk. I need to follow the strategy to the T so that my next trade, it'll just cover the loss. So I took a small loss there, guys. Not very much, just 4 points. So that's like 40 pips. That's like literally nothing. Here, I'm gonna mark it up over here. or I guess we could follow it and then we'll just see how this plays out. But I'm out of the position, guys. I just want to give you guys a heads up. If you guys want to hold on to it, that's that's up to you. If you want to close out for a small loss like I did, I just lost a couple $100, not a big deal. Because on the next trade, so for example, the next trade that comes up, if I get a full TP on the next trade, I'm going to make 750. So I make that 750, I cover the loss right there, easy. So I actually cover the loss and I make profit on top of it. Nice. Maria said she closed with a small profit. Nice work, Maria. Yeah, I mean, not to say that this isn't going to hit, but I just need to follow the strategy. That's the strategy. So that's the good thing about the strategy is that you can cut your losses early. So the next trade that you take, you basically you just balance out. Instead of taking like a negative risk forward, which we normally take, because you'll take the trade, and then if you have a negative risk forward, you have to win a couple of trades to make your way back. For here, I cut my losses halfway. So the next trade, I'll be able to make cover plus make half profit on it. So we're just waiting for another buy signal here, guys. I'm going to follow the trade just so that we have an idea of where it goes. But I just want to take note of it so that you guys know. -4 points. So we're -4 points for the day. This is probably going to hit TP. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it hits TP. But it's all good. Once we get that buy signal right there, we can start looking for another opportunity for entry. All right, so it would have hit full TP right there, but it's all good. I'm still gonna count it as a loss even though it won, because I closed out for a small loss. So I'm gonna give you guys a little update here. I'll give an explanation for it too. On this trade, due to the all right, so we're counting that as a loss, small loss, not a big deal. Even though it would have hit. And I'm gonna wait for the next opportunity to come up here. All right, now let me clean it up a little bit so that we can look for the next opportunity here. Talanji is asking, was it the sell signal that made you want to close in a small loss? Yeah, that's the strategy, Talanji. If you get an opposite signal, you have to close out to basically just cut your losses and avoid any extra risk that's unnecessary. So yeah, that's the whole strategy. So that's the only time you'll close out early. You'll close out early if you get an opposite signal because you just want to prevent any possibility of losing the trade. Because the thing is, if you cut your losses, so for example here, so we're going for 10 points, right? For this trade over here, we took the small loss for 4 points. So on the next trade right here, say we get another buy entry and we take the same entry again, right? And it goes straight to full TP. Then we make 10 points. So we lost 4 points in the last one. We make 10 points on this one. We're net profit 6 points. So we're up 60 pips. So we still make more profit on top of it. You can kind of just like, it covers the small loss and then you also make profit on top of it. And then you have another trade and then now you just have double wins, right? Or you have a win plus a half win. Yeah, that's what I like about the strategy. Like from the testing that we've done with the strategy is that so for example, if you take a trade and then you lose, right? You can keep trading because there's going to be a lot of entries that keep appearing time after time. And if you just stay on the chart, like say, for example, right now, we took a small loss and we just keep trading the strategy up until however we need to. you'll be able to recoup that loss and then make profit on it. And then at that point, you can just close it out. You can be done for the day. Because like, for example, if you take 2 half losses, like we took a 4-point loss there, and then say we take 4-point loss on the next one, but then we have one full win for 10 points, you'll still be in profit because you'll cover the 8 points and then also 2 more points from that full win. So this strategy requires a lot more work. You have to be like actively watching the charts and understand when to pull out of your position when necessary. But it also has a lot of benefits because you're like cutting your losses so small where when you do have a win, which the wins will typically be more than losses, you'll be able to recoup it and make a lot more profit on top of that. So that's why I prefer this strategy for these live sessions, because it's less risk and then there's more opportunity to the upside. Sometimes we'll have a hot streak too, where just like the trades will just keep winning and winning and winning, and it just never loses. Like I think from the testing that I did on, let me see, what test did I do? The testing that I did on Monday, I believe. Yeah, on Monday. So on Monday, there was 13 wins and 5 losses if you took every single entry. If you took 1 entry per momentum, it was 7 wins and 1 loss. So total gain of 620 pips, or a total gain of 680 pips, which is pretty good. I mean, if you can see on the charts for like a couple hours and just follow every entry that comes up, then, and if you look at the wins here, so like, for example, the single entries over here, if we trade between 7 and 8, it'd be 3 back-to-back wins, no losses. And then 1 loss happened at 825, and then there was 4 more wins after it. So you would just recoup it on the next trade if you would have eaten the loss there. So yeah, it just makes sense. It makes sense. And since we're actively watching charts here anyways, like it's better to just cut your losses when you have the opportunity versus like kind of sweating for like a good hour and a half, right? Waiting for trades to either hit your TP or your stop loss. But yeah, all right. So we have no other entries right here right now, guys. We're kind of just waiting for, we did get a retracement signal right here, but I wouldn't take the entry down here because it'll probably be an opposite signal. What I'll be looking for here is I'm looking for price to push up a little bit higher. With this market, you know, you guys can see here, there's no direction. It's hard for us to take these entries here because there's just no direction. Price is going up, but it's not really going up smoothly. It's going up more sideways, right? You can see over here on the clean chart. Let me just see if there's any opportunities to update structure. All right, so if you guys look over here, so now I've made it even tighter. There's like legitimately no direction right now. It's literally just going sideways right here, right down the middle. So you can see here on the clean chart that this is just, it's not a good market to trade in. We're going to keep running through this during the summer. So there's going to be some days where the market's great. Like the past couple of days were great, right? I've had no losses for this entire week. This is my first loss for this week, and it wasn't even a big one. It was a small 4-point loss for the live sessions. So this is just one of those days. It's one of the days where there's no direction. We actually had pretty good direction Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then today's kind of flat, which is unusual. I was expecting more movement today because of the CPI news. We had the inflation news that came out earlier this morning. And I was hoping that would actually continue to push price, but it's not really doing that. It's kind of just going sideways. Jiyoung said my FX book is back. Yeah, we saw it this morning, Jiyoung, when we started the live session. So it's my FX book is back up and running, guys. It was down for like a couple, like 2 days, I think, which is surprising. I've never seen my FX book down for that long, but they are back. So our news calendar is back up and running. There's news at 7:30. It's natural gas storage. We'll see how that affects the market. But other than that, I think that is it for right now. I need one trade. I just need one trade, if possible, please. I'm just kidding. Well, we'll see. We gotta wait for the market to pick up. It's gonna pick up later. If it doesn't pick up right now, it's gonna pick up closer to 8. So I just want to see some movement here. Like realistically, this is not worth anything. You can see where price is moving. So let me go to the clean chart. So you guys want to mark up the range right here. The range between these two zones is 16 points, which is nothing. All right, that's nothing because our TP is 10 points. And this is supposed to be a small TP. This is supposed to be a micro TP, like a very miniature TP. This is how much market's been moving for like the past hour. And this is our TP. It's like market should be moving, especially because it's a high news day. I mean, let me see if there's any other news events. So we got, let's see, I'm gonna go to my FX book. I like this better. We got the 4-week bill auction, 8-week bill auction. I mean, they're all low impact. Let's see what we got tomorrow. We got import prices, export prices. You got consumer sentiment at 7. We got some high impact news again tomorrow at 7. So this is going to wrap up the inflation news. This was inflation week. So this is the second week of July. So this is considered inflation week. Next week, I believe, is Fed week. So let me see next week. I think we have a lot of Fed meetings coming up tomorrow, next week. Actually, we have more for, let me see. We have retail sales, core retail sales, Empire State Manufacturing Index, G20 meetings. It's weird. So next week is actually not Fed week. The week after that might be Fed week. Flash services PMI. Yeah, the Fed week is actually the following week. So usually Fed week is the middle of the month, but for this month, they put it at the end, probably because of the holiday on Monday or the first week of the holiday for 4th of July. They push Fed week back 1 week. So in 2 weeks, we have Fed week. Next week, we have, it's just a regular week. I'm going to G20 meetings. Yeah, there's not really too much news. I mean, there's news, but it's nothing high impact like this week. This is inflation week. Next week is kind of like a regular news week. And then week after that's going to be Fed week. And then the week after that's going to be NFP. So this market sucks. Sucks right here. There's like no movement at all. I just want enough movement so that I can take one more trade and I can recoup this loss and make profit on top of it. That's like literally all I'm asking for. I just want one opportunity here. Let's see. Andrew said that he ate a loss on a pivot scalp. So yeah, right now you guys should probably not look to take any entries because there's just no volatility, right? Right now it's just like whether it's a V1 or whatever you guys are looking for, right? Obviously, there's not enough volatility to wait, where'd you lose the pivot scalp, Andrew? Because the trade looks like it's still running. Or I guess you might have used a tighter stop loss. That might have been the case. Yeah, the trade's technically still running for the pivot scalp, but I wouldn't have taken it because the volume right here is just too slow. You guys got to keep in mind that all these strategies, basically all the strategies that we apply here, they're all based off momentum. So if there's no volatility in the market, there's no momentum to push to your TP. So you just keep that in mind, guys. Yeah, Solange, you say trash market for a Thursday. Yeah, I was expecting the market to be a little volatile today because the CPI news, so it looks like what happened here is basically the CPI news came out, price spiked around like right here, 5, and then it just kind of died out. Price spiked, went sideways, spiked on open, went sideways, and now it's just not really doing too much. Gotcha. Okay, Andrew had a tight stop loss. It's fine. That's probably better that way, Andrew, for you to have a tighter stop loss and just pull out rather than getting caught, because you would have had a bigger loss here if you would have held on to it. So you probably made the better decision by pulling out early. I mean, I would have done the same thing, or I just wouldn't have taken the position until the market starts to pick up. Johnny's asking a random question, Sean. For the 1 hour strat, do you have your trend meter for the 1 hour chart set to 1 hour and 1 minute all that chart. No, so I just use one chart. I don't use multiple charts for the 1 hour entry. So if you're applying the 1 hour entry here, guys, I just have one chart here. My trend meter is set to 1 hour. That's where I have it set to the 60-minute. And all I do is I shift between the 1 hour and the 1 minute. So I'll check the 1 minute, or I'll check the 1 hour first to see if there's a buy signal. If there's a buy signal there, then I go down to the 1 minute and I make sure there's a buy signal there. But everything else is pretty much set to, well, the trend meter is set to the hour. And I just use this for confirmation or to confirm it, because you just need to confirm. If you want two charts, you can do that too, Johnny, but you should leave your trend meter at hourly, because the trend meter, it's always going to be hourly. That's all you're looking for. The trend meter doesn't change at all. You're not confirming trend on the 1 minute. You're only confirming trend on the 1 hour. So, I mean, this is how mine looks. I just have, actually, I don't even need the pivots on there. I just have the momentum indicator and the trend meter. And I usually leave it on the 1 minute, because you don't have to do much on the 1 hour. You just go to the 1 hour and you're like, okay, there's a buy signal. Because the buy signal doesn't come up, like it doesn't shift very often. It shifts maybe, you know, every, like you can see here, it shifts like every couple hours. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like every 5 hours it'll shift. And usually price will have to be coming down for a while. So like, for example, your price is coming down for a while, then you got the sell. Price has been going up right here. So I'm not really expecting to get a sell signal anytime soon, unless price starts to come down super heavily. Hey, Visual, how's it going? Visual said, hey, Sean, hope you're doing great. Hope I see your name on the FTMO leaderboard. I hope so. I haven't been on there before. Well, no, actually, I've been on there like once or twice. Let me check the board now, because the thing with the board is that like people on the leaderboard, they're making a lot of profit. Like for me, I'm not really making that much, because I'm only scalping and I'm making like, you know, maybe 1,000, 2,000 so often. But the people on the leaderboard are making like 40K, you know, like they're making a lot. So it's actually a lot harder to get on there. What I might do is I might split up my accounts to 100K accounts, because if you're on the bigger accounts, it's kind of harder to get on there, because the people on there, they're just taking bigger trades. They're on a bigger account, they're taking bigger risks, and they're able to lock in more profit. A lot of them on there are like intraday traders, intraday or swing traders. So they'll be holding on to the position for like, say, a week, and then they'll have this huge profit at the end of that week, right? For me, I'm just taking these little bits in the market. I'm going to lock in like little, whatever I can grab in the market through scalping. And they add up to pretty decent profit, but it's not enough to like, to stack up against like, you know, say like a 100K month. I don't think I've had a 100K month. And the thing is, I have multiple accounts. Visual, it's not just one account. So the thing is, if all my accounts were all put together, like say, for example, if I had a 700K account on FTMO, then yeah, I'd be on the list, because everything adds up. But I have like multiple accounts, and they count them per account. It's not per, like I would have to merge my account into like a 400K for me to have it calculated together. Yeah, I'm looking over here right now on, so if you look on the leaderboard right now, they're up like 33%. That's a lot. Like 33%. I don't make that much on there. So Lisa's #1 right now. She has a $60,000 profit. So that's why I don't really make it on here very often. I made it on there like maybe once or twice. Someone told me they took a screenshot, they sent it to me. But the people on here are making a lot more, because they hold on to the positions for so long. Yeah, that's crazy. Lisa, she's from the US too. She locked in 65,454 profit. That's crazy in a month. I mean, she probably just YOLO those trades. I mean, you know, anyone could like kind of YOLO the trades and they'll have their day or their month. But for me, I like consistency. I like having like maybe 1,000 or 2,000 profit a day, and then just continuing on and just staying consistent. I'd rather have a smooth path. Like for me, Okay, guys, we're not really missing anything. I just wanted to go back here to make sure we're not missing anything here. But yeah, like what I was saying over here with visual, like this is how my profits usually look. My profits look like this, like by the month. I'm a slow climber. I'm a slow climber, but I'm making profits, right? And then at the end of the month, I get my payout and I'm back to down to slow climb again, right? I prefer to have this where every day I'm just making slight profit and I'm comfortable and I'm not really nervous about anything. But people who make a lot of profit, like their things are crazy. It's like up, down, huge win, huge loss. Like I don't like that. I feel like having this type of account kind of like stresses me out because I'm not like certain how much profit I'm going to make at the end of the month. I'm pretty certain when I'm like doing this, taking 1 or 2 trades a day and then just having small profits here, and then they just add up over by the end of the month. I mean, it would be nice. Like it would be nice to have like 100K a month with one account, but odds of me hitting that are probably it's unlikely. Unless if I'm scalping all day. If I'm just sitting on the charts for like 12 hours a day doing this strategy from like 6:30 to 8 or 6:30 to 12 for like 5 days straight, then yeah, maybe I could reach that point. But yeah, it's just not, unfortunately, it's not really feasible for my trading style. Oh, gee, that's crazy. Yeah, so Visual said Lisa was at 90K a couple days ago, so she dropped. Yeah, and that's what I was saying, Visual. Like for me, I can't stomach that loss. Like Lisa, she made like Visual saying that Lisa, who's #1 on the FTMO leaderboard right now, she was at 90K profit a couple days ago. She's now at 60K. I can't stomach that. I could stomach like a 5K loss because I'm like, all right, I'll just like have 5 more trades and I'll make it right back, or I'll make two more trades and I'll make my profit back. But going from like 90K to 60K, just losing 30K in one day, that's like it can mess with your trade psychology. Like it'll just mess with your trade psychology, and some people never recover from that, and then they just end up going in a downward spiral. Yeah, no, that's crazy, Visual, that you mentioned that. And 90K a month, that's crazy. And that's just one account. So if you think about it, that's one account. So if she had multiple accounts, because she's on a 200K account. So if she has two 200K accounts, she would be, that's like over, that's well over, it's 120K, or she's almost at 200K for the month. If that was the case. Yeah, because if you look on the leaderboard right now, I'm looking at it right now, everybody's like very high. Everyone's up like the smallest account on the leaderboard right now is like 30K. I'm not making 30K a month, not on one account. If my accounts are combined, yeah, but not on one account. That's crazy. Yeah, hopefully one day Visual. If you ever see me on there, take a screenshot. I've only been on there like once or twice, and I was like bottom tier. I was like maybe like number 10 or something. All right, so market is still not doing anything, guys. It's about to be 7:30 right now. I was hoping we'd have some direction. Unfortunately, there's still no direction here. If price continues to drop lower, that's completely fine. We would start looking for some sells, not a big deal. But the volatility here is very low. So as you guys can see, it's actually getting lower. So earlier over here, price was it was touching the numbers quicker, but now it's kind of just, it's just going back and forth. Let's see, Brian is asking if that was a 1-minute variation. Let me go over here to 721. So I'm not sure what the bias, I'm pretty sure it's still bullish. Let me just check real quick. Sentiment here is 63%. Fundamentals were kind of bullish, sort of bullish. Yeah, I guess that could have been a V1 variation right here. So Jeff is asking, or Brian or Jeff, whatever Brian wants to go by. He was asking if this was a V1 variation. Yes, this was. So this was a V1 variation right here. There was overall bias is bullish, retail sentiment is bullish, fundamentals are bullish, short-term technicals were, I mean, they're neutral, but the long-term bias is still bullish. So we had bullish, 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 short-term is neutral, overall bias is bullish. There's a double body rejection right here. The lower lows right there. You would have taken this for a buy when this candle closed, and it would have went straight to TP. So yeah, Brian, this here was a V1 variation. You're correct. I'm glad that you asked me here on the live because it's hard to look at it in the past because we can't check what the overall bias is, right? It's almost impossible to see once it's already happened. But right now we're able to confirm the direction. So yeah, Brian, that was a V1 variation. Matthew said, for anyone wondering about the unlimited trading period, it only applies to new challenges. Any current challenges will always be on the time limit. Oh, that sucks. It's all good. I guess for whoever's still in the challenge, just continue to trade with your normal lot size and try to just pass it. Maria said price is boring. I agree with you, Maria, 100%. Price is not really doing anything today. We have news right here, so news is starting to pass. It's not a high impact news event though, it's just oil inventories. The market today just sucks in general, guys. I'm not going to force any trades here. If I see something good, I'll take it. But if the market is not really moving how it's supposed to or how it should, I'm not going to force anything. You guys know that. There's no need to force anything today, guys. We made a lot of profit this week already so far. So, I mean, if there's a good entry, take it. But if there's not a good entry, there's no need to force it. We still have tomorrow. So I'm fine with being patient. Patricia said MFF is moving to unlimited days too. Nice. Looks like everybody is, huh? That's the new norm. I mean, I feel like the trading day period wasn't really a good requirement anyways, because it wasn't necessary. Like people can pass under the 30 days and people can pass over it. There's no necessity for it. I feel like a lot of funding companies had that trading day period there just to force people to take risky trades. And it forced them to blow accounts, right? Because a lot of these funding companies, they make money off challenges. So the trading day period would basically force someone to take unreasonable lot sizes and unreasonable trades to pass within 30 days. But now that it's not there anymore. Now everybody can just take their time. Because realistically, it's about being patient and disciplined. It's Patricia also mentioned, but they are changing indices leverage to 1 to 50. That sucks. Yeah, not like as if it didn't already suck as is, huh, Patricia? They've been giving me partial profit for the past year now, and then now they're going to cut leverage. I mean, that's a downside for MFF. I'll probably keep MFF until I just get over it, or if I find another funding company that works better. But I mean, they still pay out, so I can't really complain too much. I'm still taking advantage of what they have to offer. So yeah, but that does suck, Patricia, 100%. Yeah, there's a guy on the FTMO leaderboard. He's from South Africa. He's up 64% on his account. He's on a 100K account. That's pretty crazy. 63,775 on a 100K account. He must have made some crazy trades to make that much. Let's see. Breaking news from CNBC. Let's go to breaking news. VSOC plunges toward the worst day ever after a new satellite malfunctions. It's just a specific. It's a stock, space stock. There's also, right now there's a news conference, FTC chair Lena Khan testifies during oversight hearing. So basically the oversight hearing that was going on yesterday, it's continuing today. Now it's the FTC chair who is now speaking. We had the FBI head yesterday and now FTC. Let's see, Jason said to try funding next for us, which I've never used them for. I mean, maybe I'll take a look. I'm always wary to try new prop firms because, and I've talked about this with like other people who own other trading companies as well. It's always like the leverage sucks or the execution time sucks or the spread sucks or the fees suck. There's always something that's like that people don't talk about with these other funding companies that just can't compare to like FTMO, but I'll check it out because I don't mind adding another account if they're fine. Hi, Jason. Jason said they're registered in the US. I'll take a look at them. That might be a downside though if they're registered in the US because like it's kind of similar to like E8. Like a lot of people are using E8 before and their fees were like super high. But I'll take a look at them. Funding next. I think someone mentioned them to me before. Funding next. CC said it's on the list. Is it called funded next? I looked up funding next. There's nothing called funding next. I'm assuming it's funded next. I think I'll take a look. Yeah, like CC has a list of prop firms that he likes to use or that he's looking at. Funded next. Okay, thanks, Jason. Wesley said Alpha Capital looks decent too. You know, I'm looking for a lot of companies that are like directly on TradingView, like Top Step. I think Apex is going to be another one that I'm going to look at. But the problem is I don't have a copier for Tradeovate. If anybody here has a copier for Tradeovate, please let me know. Because I know how to use a group trade function, but you have to trade directly on Tradeovate. You can't trade on TradingView, which is what I like to do. And you also can't use bracket orders, which is kind of annoying. Because I like having bracket orders, of course. So yeah, if anybody knows of a copier that's on there, let me know. Because I want to keep trading directly on TradingView. I think it's better for you guys here too, so that you guys know which trades I'm taking. All right, we do have a bullish push right here, guys. Don't worry, I know we're talking about other stuff, but I'm still focused on the charts here. We have the push to the upside here. I'm now looking for the retracement. Okay, so if this retraces to this level, I don't want to take this trade. I'm not going to take the trade here if it does, because it's just too low. It's too far low. And if it comes back down, it's probably going to give a sell signal. So what I'm going to do here is I'll mark this up as an entry if it does close, but I'll let you guys know if I'm taking it. Obviously, I'm not going to take it if it closes there. Just way too far off. Johnny's asking if this is a... So there's no V1 here because there's a buy signal there already, Johnny. You need to have the pending buy signal. So there's already a buy signal right here. There's a V1 right here though at 731. So if this is the one you're talking about, there was a V1 right there, but there was not one here because there's already a buy signal. There needs to be a pending buy signal. So you either can't have a buy signal on the actual entry. It has to happen after it. All right, so no entry here, guys. You guys can see that there is a sell signal here. Price is still kind of all over the place. There's no direction. Unfortunately, I was hoping that was going to be the entry for us to recoup the loss from earlier this morning, but it wasn't. Let's see, we got Nadia over here. So Nadia is currently up 1,048 for the day. Nice work, Nadia. Just one loss there, a small loss, but everything else were nice wins. Nadia was asking if this is a valid high-level momentum scalp. It looks like it, yeah. Okay, so Nadia here said that she took a loss from the 1 hour strategy. So guys, just a heads up, this is something that I talked with Randy about this morning. So I typically don't take the 1 hour strategy if there's news, and I don't take it at 6 a.m. because that's usually a loser. And then if I trade during Asia session, I don't trade after 8 p.m. So if the 1 hour entry doesn't come up by 8 p.m., I don't take the entry, because by 10 p.m., the market starts to move kind of funky. It starts to move irregular, and it tends to reverse, kind of similar to the mid-market reversal that happens during New York session. So just a heads up, guys, for the 1 hour entry. Again, I don't trade it at 6 o'clock because I tend to see losses happen at 6 o'clock. That's because it overlaps with market open. So 6 o'clock a.m. Pacific time, I don't take the 1 hour entry. If there's news coming up, like a big news event at 5:30, that'd be a big red flag not to take a trade, because you can get caught in retracement and then it'll just spike once it gets the news. And then also if there's news on the actual candle. And then Asia session, I don't take anything after 8 p.m. Pacific time. Because if you hold on to that trade for 2 hours, typically during Asia, it'll take a couple hours for it to hit. By 10 o'clock, it starts to reverse. So it's not a good time to take the entry, obviously. All right, let me just, there's no entries here, guys. We have a sell signal here, but it still doesn't meet criteria. Barack said, is this market crippled today? It's not really doing anything. If you guys see here, so I drew the zones over here, and it's still right down the middle. It hasn't done anything today. Randy's asking, wasn't there CPI news yesterday before market open and it hit? I don't know, was there? CPI news was today. So today it was core PPI, or it was PPI actually. Yeah, CPI was yesterday, I believe, too. Yeah, CPI was yesterday. But yesterday there was no manipulation. This thing just went straight up. So for yesterday, yeah, you can see here that it was negative and it went straight up. For today, it was a different movement. If you go back and see how price moved today, it wasn't the same. It was like kind of all over the place, spiked back and forth. It came up, then it came down, then it came up, then it came down. But on Wednesday, so I didn't realize there was CPI news on Wednesday. I took a trade on Wednesday because I didn't realize there was CPI news. I took this like in bed. I woke up like at 5 o'clock and I literally took a trade on my phone. For today, I was actually up at 5 and I was looking at my charts. So I was looking to see what was going on pre-market. So I guess Wednesday I won that by luck, because price didn't actually chop. It wasn't choppy at all. I just went straight up. Yesterday was a good trading day. We took a couple good trades there and market was moving directional, but today is completely opposite. There was news, but it didn't move direction. It still hasn't moved directional. And it was a big spike. So you can see right here, this big crazy candle at 5:30. And I'll show you the one from yesterday. So this one from yesterday was just a straight push. This was a nice push. See this? So this is yesterday's CPI news. I took this one. I mean, it hit my TP before I got to there. So I hit my TP way before right here, like immediately on open, it hit my TP. So I didn't hold on to it until the news over here. But this compared to today, this is like nothing like yesterday. This kind of went back and forth. It basically wiped out all liquidity on both sides. So yeah, generally you should probably skip it if there's news. Today I was aware of the news. So yes, Wednesday I wasn't aware, but today I was aware because I actually got up and I looked at, and I was at my computer when I traded, and I looked for the entry there. So yeah, you're right, Randy. There was CPI yesterday. Today was PPI, producer price index. All right, this market sucks. There's still no direction here. You guys can see the volatility is very low. Yeah, the volatility right now is super low. Go over here real quick and see what else. Let's see. Barack sent me this link for Celsius CEO. I didn't see that, but let me see. Is it on here? So I'll just copy the link. So Barack sent this over here. Celsius CEO. I'm assuming Celsius is the drink company, right? Oh, it's a Chris. Okay, this is irrelevant. It's crypto. Yeah, it's crypto. I thought this was the drink company. All the crypto companies are getting crumble. So that's kind of irrelevant. But no, I didn't see that. Barack. Yeah, thanks, Daniel. So it was yeah, I mean, it's no surprise to me. I was expecting that. The crypto market is everything's going to get hit in the crypto market. Any exchange is going to get hit with manipulation and stuff like that. They're cracking down on all of them. Like Binance is probably next if they're not already. I mean, there's already oversight over Binance. Maybe even Coinbase next. Yeah, I don't really follow the crypto market because it doesn't really affect us at all. I only follow stuff that affects us here for US30. Kevin said the high level momentum scalp just hits EP. Nice work, Kevin. So yeah, Kevin caught the trade right here. There was a higher high right there. There was a sell signal here that broke and closed past pivots 1 and 2. And Kevin identified that as a perfect entry for full TP. I'm not necessarily looking at it, but you guys can see the strategy still works fine. So if you guys still want to apply the strategy, it still works great. It's just it's hard for me to focus on like multiple strategies at once. So I'm just focusing on these momentum pullback scalps. But yeah, nice work, Kevin, on catching that right there. Nice. So Kevin he identified it and caught it. Crystal caught it too. Nice work, guys. Who else applies that? Purity. Purity here? Purity is, yeah, she's here too. I don't know if you caught that, Purity. I know you're looking at the high level momentum scalps too. So Kevin saw it. Crystal caught it. You probably caught it too, Purity, since that's one of the main strategies that you look at. Barack said now he has to. No, so the thing with those, so the thing with the US, Barack, is that they just file for bankruptcy. If they can't pay for it, they're just going to file for bankruptcy, which he's going to do. He's not going to pay 44.2 billion. It's going to be like that guy. What's his name? Sam, whatever the guy is, the guy that basically started all of this. He's not going to pay all that. Like, you know, like all those cryptos exchanges that got blown up, they're not going to. They say that they have to pay for it, but they're not going to pay for it. Where's the money going to come from? The exchange is gone. They're just going to file for bankruptcy and they're just going to go to jail for a bit and then come back and then figure out another way to scam people. Yeah, exactly. Dan said that money's long gone, 100%. SBF, yeah, that guy, Daniel. Exactly. Yeah, SBF, CJ, Sam Bateman Freud. I haven't even heard of that guy. I know all that stuff was happening, but I don't know what's up with him now. Kind of curious. Let's see. Raz said MFF bringing out the no time limit on Monday. Nice, Raz. Yeah, we saw that too. So FTMO and MFF no more time limits. I'm glad that there's competition in the space because it's beneficial for us, but we're the ones that benefit from it. And it's just going to keep getting better. You know, the more competition, the more changes these companies are going to have to make for them to retain their clientele. All right, so there's no entries here right now, guys. I'm still looking, but there's still nothing for us to take here right now. Price is now bearish, it looks like, with regards to direction. I mean, bias is still bullish, but the direction right now is currently bearish. There's no entries right now. We had the sell signal come down. Price came down slightly. Retracement right here, no entry at that point. Price came down again. Here goes another retracement, but let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really feel comfortable taking this trade here because I don't feel like. So you guys can see here the volatility. The volatility is still very low. I'll mark it up for you guys. This is technically an entry for a sell. This is a sell for momentum scalp pullback or momentum pullback scalp, because we do have direction over here. Sell momentum. Trend meters down below is red. Pivots are angling down. This is technically an entry. The reason why I don't like this here is because the volatility is extremely low. As you guys can see over here, the price gap is just for visualization purposes. It's very wide, right? This is very wide compared to what we're used to. Typically, our price gap is like half the size. Like even earlier over here from these entries, the price gap looked a lot smaller than it did right here. Right now, it's not looking good at all. So, I mean, other than that, I don't know if we're gonna have any entries for today, guys. It's 7:50 right now. It's getting really close to 8. So I don't know if there's any entries. I'm following this trade here, but I'm not in it. I mean, it's probably gonna hit TP. So I don't know if anybody actually took it. Yep, full TP. I should have taken it. That would have been my cover right there for the for my small loss. Barack here took it. So nice work, Barack. I didn't take the trade. If anybody took it, great work. The trade, you guys can see the strategy works well. It's just I don't like the way that the market's moving. The direction right now is not good, but you can see that the strategy still plays out perfectly. Crystal took it as well. Nice work, guys. If I don't feel comfortable about a position, guys, I'm not going to tell you guys to take it. I'll mark it up and I'll show you guys where it's at. And if it plays out, then great. Both of the trades that I showed you today, the one up here hit, I believe. I didn't feel comfortable about it because the way that the market was moving. I actually pulled out of this one early, but this one did hit as well, full TP. And then this one right here also hit TP, but I just didn't like the way that it was moving, so I didn't take it. But yeah, you see Gian caught it too. Nice work, Gian. Yeah, no problem at Harwick. We'll see you back here tomorrow. So, I mean, if there's any questions, guys, feel free to put them in the chat. It's just right now, the market is not moving smooth at all. And it's not, the volatility is just too low. It doesn't look like the type of market that I would like to trade in, especially during these types of conditions where price can really just go either direction. But this one here was actually a good trade. This hit within 2 minutes. This is like within the parameters of TP to hit. Usually it'll hit within this period, but because price is going sideways, it'll just go sideways for a bit, and then price has the opportunity of spiking up or spiking down. And we don't like that because I don't like taking trades when there's a lot of uncertainty. I like to know for sure if it's going to hit, or I like to have at least a decent idea that it's going to play out in my direction. Nice. So Matt over here, Matt caught it as well. So yeah, if you guys have profits to share, feel free to send them in. I'm probably just going to eat my loss for the day. Small loss, 4 points, which is not very much. I just need to have one win to recover it. This win would have covered it, but I didn't take it. So let's see what everybody locked in over here. So here's Gian over here. Gian's back to break even. He took the trade right there. He took the 1 hour entry at 5. Unfortunately, hit stop loss. The news kind of spiked price and he hit a stop loss, but he took a couple of the trades here and then he made it right back slightly. He's back to break even for the most part, negative 80 for the day. So nice work right there, Gian. So 1 second. All right. Yeah, so Gian over here is back to break even. Here's Barack. Barack is currently at 2,255 for the day. All wins. Nice work, Barack. Took that sell. And then we've got Randy over here. Unfortunately, Randy took a loss. I think this was from last night, right, Randy? Yeah, so Randy took this trade last night at 9. He didn't know that we stopped trading around 8 o'clock for the 1 hour entry, but now he knows. But it's okay. So this is what he identified, and then now he took another trade here and locked in total profit 4.9 to basically recoup some of his losses. Let's see, Randy over here is asking, take this pivot scalp for a full TP, but realize the momentum is different from your chart. Can you review it? Yeah, Randy, so let's see. Momentum. Let's go. Bullish, bullish, bullish. Yeah, no, this looks good. This market sucks. I was really hoping I could catch one trade to recoup the loss, but it's not looking like it. And it's okay. I'm not going to force any trades here. Last thing I want to do is FOMO into a trade here and then dig myself a deeper hole, right? So, yeah, I mean, I'll see if I can find anything else here, but if I don't see anything in the next couple minutes or so, guys, we're just going to wrap it up. Unfortunately, this is one of those days where the market was just moving sideways. Luckily for me, we only took a small loss today, 4 points. So, I mean, it doesn't really hurt. I'm down like $300 for the day, which is nothing. I'm up for the week so far. So let's just do the math real quick. So let me just add up my profits for the week so far. I'm just going to do one account because I don't want to do all of them. It's just too much work for me to do all the work to add them all up. So we'll start from Monday over here. Or Monday the 7th. So we'll just calculate my main F2 account because it's just too much work for me to go in and calculate all of them. I don't really care. So here's my main account right here. I mean, just one day would have covered it. So 3560 plus the next day. Which was 2040 plus, and this is why I want to show you guys, like, if you guys have a good week, you could have a small loss like that, and it's not really going to affect you very much because it's like, it's like a little, it's just like a little nudge, right? So that right there, 3040. So I'm up 10 on that account. I actually did pretty good yesterday, this week so far. 6280. Yeah, so that's how much I was up until today. And then I actually took a trade last night. So I'm actually in profit right now. I didn't realize that. I forgot that I took a trade last night during Asia session. So I took this one right here during Asia session. That's how much I was up basically. But if I just calculated today's profits, 400 minus 100. I'm still up 1, so not really a big deal. So yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. If there's any other questions that you guys have, we'll just we'll cover that and let's wrap it up. So CJ is asking if there was another momentum pullback at 754. Yes, well, I don't know if it actually filled it, but technically, if it came down to that area, then yes, there would have been one there. But I wouldn't have taken it, CJ, because I only take one per momentum. There was already one that filled over here, remember? So since this one over here filled already, I wouldn't have taken the next one. But yeah, it was a setup right there. I'm not sure if it filled, but if it did, then yeah. At 754. So again, guys, for this strategy here, you guys, there's 2 ways of applying it. You guys can apply one per momentum, like how I do it. I like more quality entries. So if I have one momentum there, I'll just take one. So this is the first one here that came up. Right here, price came down, retraced, never came up to this level, came down more, retraced right here, never came up to this level, came down right here, retraced, and this level right here was the entry point. So this is the first one that came up. I didn't take it because the volatility was kind of low, so I didn't decide to take it. Price came down lower right here, and there's another opportunity right here. Price retraced on this green candle, price filled right there. and then it ended up shooting down to full TP. But yeah, other than that, let's see. Purity said it doesn't look like she'll be passing her challenge. Yeah, I mean, we talked about that for Purity, right? Because you were taking like a lot of random trades in the beginning. I mean, you started to find your stride at the end. So the good thing is that you started to actually do things properly towards the end of your challenge. So you found a lot of consistency. But like you mentioned, you took like a bunch of bad trades in the beginning, which kind of just put you in a very, very deep hole. In the future, just make sure that you don't don't do a challenge until you guys are ready, right? I feel like a lot of people here, they want to do their challenges right away and they're not ready for a challenge. Like they haven't even passed a trial yet and they want to go straight into the challenge. So after this Purity, or I don't know, are you back in profit? Because I asked you that question too, if you were in profit the other day. Yeah, so if you're not in profit, you're not gonna get a free retry. You fail the challenge. So what I'd probably recommend, Purity, is before you do another challenge, make sure that you actually have stuff down. Don't just take a challenge and pray that you're going to get lucky and pass, right? Because praying is not going to do anything for you unless like you actually know what you're doing. Because now it seems like you do know what you're doing since you're actually applying the high level momentum scalps properly. But if you actually like got it down in the beginning, I think you would have done a lot better. Because looking at your profits you've been posting your profits pretty much every day. You actually have been doing pretty decent in the past. And there's another high level momentum scalp that hit right there. I didn't take a trade, but CJ just mentioned it right now. There's a lower low right here. This buy count broke and closed past pivots 1 and 2. And that'd be another entry right there for a high level momentum scalp. Crystal took it. So nice work, Crystal. CJ took it as well. Kevin caught it too. Nice work, Kevin. Yeah, it's a nice start for you, Kevin, because you're barely starting. I think this is your first week here, and you're starting to identify these entries properly. This is a strategy that Purity likes to apply too, and this is like one of Purity's favorite strategies. So I think you're on the right track, Purity. It's okay. Everybody has setbacks. It's okay if you don't pass your challenge right away, but you are getting the strategy down. So like looking back at your profits, like if let me see if I can search you up on here. Yeah, so you've been like posting your profits every day. Like every day Purity has been making she made 93 yesterday. The day before that, Purity made 369. Like your consistency has gone through the roof, Purity. You're doing a lot better. Like she sent her profits here, she made 1,000. Her profits here, she made 1,000. Like every day, if you can do this every day, Purity, and because this is from like June, like you just started catching your stride more recently, like within the past month. If you could just keep doing this every day, you'll pass your challenge. So maybe you are ready for another challenge, but I'm always looking out for your best interest. I don't want you to just keep doing challenges unless you're like 100%. But if you're 100%, then do another challenge. Yeah, exactly. Purity said, I wish I was using the high low in the beginning. Yeah, because Purity was actually doing a bunch of different strategies and she wasn't understanding it. But now that she has the high low momentum scalp, she's actually really getting it. And she's like hitting every single trade. And she's not even applying it on US30. She's actually trading gold and she does pretty good on it. So nice work, Purity. And, just keep up. Don't give up. That's the main thing. I feel like a lot of people give up too early before they like really unlock their true potential. But you're on the track, so you should be good. Let's see. Yeah, Crystal said it's okay, Purity. She's been trading since 2018 and she finally decided to do the challenge last month. Yeah, no, the challenge is cool. Once you guys pass the challenge, now that there's no time limit, you guys can take your time. You can take a smaller lot size and just keep stacking wins until you finally pass, which it'll happen with time. Yeah, Kevin said he caught it, but he's paper trading. It's all good, Kevin. Practice will make perfect. Once you're ready, you can take that challenge or you can do your own personal account. And at least you'll be ready for it. So Zach said no trades for the day, but he got the new 200K account and now he has all the time in the world. Yeah, no, definitely, Zach. Congrats. Now you're solid. All right, guys, it's past 8. So if there's any other questions, feel free to reach out. Unfortunately, there were no entries for us to take. after the small loss that we had earlier this morning. Some of you guys took the loss, some of you guys took the win. I took the small loss for 4 points. I'm okay with losing like $400. It's not a big deal to me because I'm in profit for this week. One win would have made me 1,000, so I would have made that back. I was hoping I'd get that one win today after, but I was just never able to recoup it. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to eat that loss for the day. It's my first red day in a very long time, and it's not even a heavy red day. It's $400, which is nothing. I just need to take one more trade, and I'll be back in profit for that specific trade. But overall, I'm doing solid with my accounts, and I think I'm just gonna wrap it up because I don't want to FOMO into any trades right now. The market's not really doing too much. It was moving very slowly earlier. It picked up right now, and now it's back to moving slow again. So my word of advice is if you guys don't need to trade, just don't trade, right? Just come back tomorrow fresh and let's close out this week strong. So, all right, guys, have a great rest of your day. And if you guys have any